without further ado, let's get started. In the 3x3 grid below, a positive whole number from 1 to 9 inclusive is written in each square. No number appears twice, and the sum of the numbers in each column is the same. In addition, the sum of the numbers in the top row is 6, and the sum of the numbers in the bottom row is 24. How many ways can the grid be filled with numbers? So, the first thing that we need to note is that since no number appears twice, all of the numbers 1 to 9 are going to be written exactly once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And using that, let's go ahead and make some observations, right? Now, we're told that the sum of the numbers in the top row is 6. That means in the top row, we have to have 1, 2, and 3, because if we have any number bigger than 3, say 4, 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7, and that's already greater than 6, and we can't have that. So the top row is 1, 2, and 3. Now, similarly, the bottom row sums to 24. So that means 7, 8, and 9 have to be our 3 numbers in the bottom. And same reason, right? If we have something less than 7, 6 plus 8 plus 9 is already 23, which is less than 24, so that's not going to work. So, for the sake of simplicity, what we're going to do is we're just going to assume that the top row has order 1, 2, 3. Now, we don't know that that's the case, right? But how can we account for that in our final number of ways to fill the grid? Well, since there's 3 numbers, right, that we're placing in any order, the order will not actually matter. That means we have 3 factorial, which is 6 ways to order the top row. So we're going to remember that for later. Now, we know the top row, and we also know the bottom row has 7, 8, and 9. So that means the middle row has to have 4, 5, and 6. But how do we figure out where everything else goes? Well, we know that our last condition, the sum of all of the numbers in each column is the same. How do we find that sum? Well, we know that all of the numbers used are 1 to 9, right? So if we add up all of the numbers from 1 to 9, that gives us 9 times 9 plus 1 over 2, which is 45. Now, with 45, we also see that this is the sum of all of the numbers. So the sum of one column, which is 1/3 of that, will be 45 times 1/3, which gives us 15. So this means the sum of the numbers in each column have to be 15. How can we use that? Well, we need to figure out where the 7, 8, and the 9 go under each of these. And once we know that, then everything else falls into place. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look. So let's say, just to try, that 7 is underneath the 1. If 7 is underneath the 1, then for 1 plus something plus 7 to equal 15, we have to have another 7 here. So that's not going to work. We can't do that. So let's try a different configuration. Since we can't have a 7 underneath the 1, let's try to have an 8 underneath the 1. Well, if we have an 8 underneath the 1, 1 plus 8 is 9, and to get to 15, we can have a 6 here. Now we have to figure out where the 7 and the 9 go. Well, let's see. Can the 7 go in both places? Well, if the 7 goes here, then we know that 2 plus 7 is 9 again, so we would need another 6. So the 7 can't go there, right? But we do know that then let's try the 7 here. If we put the 9 here, then we can fill in the rest of the grid like this, and that works, right? So that's one way to do it. Now, we saw that we can't put the 7 under the 1, but let's see, but we can put the 8. So let's test if we can put the 9 under the 1, right? We have 1, 2, and 3. Let's see, if we put the 9 under the 1, then 1 plus 9 is equal to 10. That means we need 5 more. That's cool. Let's see if we can fit the 7 and 8 under the 2 and 3 to make this square work. Well, if we then put a 7 under the 2, that means we have an 8 under the 3, so we would have 6 and 4. So that works. But let's say that we put an 8 under the 2. What would that do? Well, that wouldn't work, right? Because 2 plus 8 equals 1 plus 9, which means that they would both need a 5 in the middle row, and we can't have any repeat numbers. That means that the only other way we can fill in our grid is like this. Remember that these sets of columns are set, but we can switch them around in their order. Remember, this the order of the numbers in the top row doesn't actually matter. So the final number of ways we can fill in this grid is 3 factorial times 2 for these two configurations, which gives us 12. So the answer to team 9 is 12. All right.
Hi, everybody. This is Tim. Hope you're enjoying our videos. If so, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that sort of thing. But what I'd really want to invite you to do is to send us an email at media@mathleague.org. Tell us which problems you'd like to see us cover next in our video series. Take care and see you in the next video.